4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Well, hello, folks, and welcome back to the Production Room Podcast. We're here on the third floor of the Dixie Center for the Arts in beautiful downtown Ruston. This old production room was used way back in the day. They had a movie projector up here that was just about as big as this room. I don't know how they got it up and down. They said those things weighed about 800 pounds, and I'm here to tell you there is not an elevator in this building. So they had to manhandle those things up and down the stairs. But it sat in this room, and this is where they showed the old silent movies until the talkies came along. All the production was handled right here in this room, and that's why we call it the Production Room Podcast. So the Production Room Podcast is available to you. We like to bring in our local musicians, singers, songwriters, actors and actresses, producers, and directors, and we like to talk to them about things that's going on in our local area in North Louisiana and what's happening in their lives, just to keep you abreast of what's going on the local music scene and with our local theater groups. That's what we're all about. This is a program of the Dixie Center for the Arts, and we are sponsored by Origin Bank. Thank you, Origin, for your sponsorship, and we really appreciate it. So today on our podcast, I've got with me a guest. If you've been involved in the local music scene here in Ruston at all, you've probably seen him because he plays just about everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bo Smith.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Pretty good.
We are glad to have you here with us this morning. So I understand you're a Shudrint boy. Grew up in Shudrint and went to school at Shudrint.
Went to school there. Then about 2003, I decided to leave, go to Austin, Texas. I was working overseas and for Noble Drilling.
Right.
Had a month on, month off. So I went to the Recording Conservatory of Austin and went over there in audio engineering. Then we opened up a little studio over there in Austin for a little while. And then I had a little company called South Sound Productions. We would promote concerts over there, and I did that for a little while. And then I was getting ready to come back home, and I was going to take a job with Farmers Insurance out in New Braunfels, Texas. I talked to Monty Russell, and he said, "Well, come home and I'll produce your album." So I ended up coming home, and then we ended up recording my album.
Very nice. Very cool.
2016.
So tell us a little bit about this album.
Flowers Are Gone. A lot of it I wrote during my 20s. I was offshore in a crane. I was a crane operator, so I sat in there and was writing about a girlfriend I had in Mexico, then a girlfriend I had in Texas that wasn't working out. So the relationship...
That doesn't work out when you have girlfriends in multiple places.
Well, it was already on the outs with her in
okay.
Austin. That's where I got it. The flowers are gone because the relationship lasted as long as the flowers lived. So I had it pretty much written, and me and Monty, we went in and recorded it and rewrote it. He helped me co-write with it. And then...
Very cool. So, folks, if you don't know, we had Monty Russell on the podcast before, another local musician. I would go so far as to call him a Louisiana music icon. Writer, singer, songwriter, producer. What's it like working with Monty as a producer?
It's fun. We have a lot of good times. We'll write. We be in the hotel, write in the hotel, go in the studio, work all day long, and then get up and do it again. We went down there and recorded 10 songs in 3 days. We're up there.
Okay, I was fixing to say, where did you recorded it in Nashville, correct?
Yes.
Very nice.
James Cook. Studio on the Ridge.
Yep. It's a great studio. A lot of good stuff coming out of there.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your style of music you play now, and maybe what were some of your influences? Who influenced your music?
Growing up, Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson and the outlaw country.
Mm-hmm.
Hank Jr., Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson.
So those were my big guys as well. You know, I'm from that generation, so I can appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I like the outlaw country.
I'm with you. I got to say, as far as songwriters go, and he did do a lot of recording. Maybe not the best vocalist in the world, but I think the best songwriters also out of that genre. Chris Christopherson.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely amazing. But yeah, that was a great time in music.
Oh yeah, it was. I covered a song, Chris Christopherson, Josie.
Yes.
On my album.
Yes.
And then J.J. Cale, I did. Well, Clyde played electric bass.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sits around in his underwear doing that, from what I understand.
Don't wear no shoes.
Yeah. Oh, Clyde. What are we going to do with Clyde?
Yeah.
So, tell us about what you're doing now.
Right now, I've been concentrating on. I want to, write a little bit more. I've been writing a little more. Want to do another album or EP, and I've been working on playing as many gigs as I can. Getting out to the public. Build my name for myself. Do the work, put the work in.
Right.
Pay my dues, and I'm just branching out, trying to. It's like a reverse tornado, I guess, of my life. Instead of going down a spiral, I'm fixing to go back out of it.
I see you all around town. You're playing just about everywhere here in Ruston that allows anybody to play. Am I right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Tell me about some of the folks you're playing with.
I've been playing with Trey, Gotro, Monty, Dave P. Moore, and
Dave P., if you're watching this, buddy, I need to get you on this podcast too, by the way.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday, told him to come up here.
All right.
And then Nikki Rogers, we've all been helping her. She's been playing music for years, but she's kind of new to the scene, so we've all kind of adopted her in music and take her out and help her.
That's a great thing about the local music scene. If you get in with the right folks, they'll treat you like family every time.
Yeah, they will. And then you have William Nix. We play together. We're all affiliated, I guess you could say.
Right. So tell me, what kind of strengths do you think you have to succeed in music?
You just have to have a great work ethic. I mean, you got to push yourself to get up every day. And, put the work in, booking gigs and all that. It's hard.
So you got to be ready to hustle. And,
yeah.
And this next question, this is true for anybody. I mean, I could ask anybody, whatever your job is, this question, but what weaknesses do you see affecting you in music, if any?
The ones I've seen in my past were probably drugs and alcohol. I got through that, so that's what I would suggest to anybody. If you're going to play and you want to do it for a living, you got to back off from that.
You got to do it with a clear head. You got to
leave it behind.
All right. So we talked about some of your music influences early on, but when you first found that interest in music, what inspired you to start playing music, to learn music?
Well, when I was a kid, I lived in Shooter, and Mr. S.K. Adams had a garage across the street, a mechanic shop, and they would have fish fries, and musicians would come over and play, and I'd watch them play, and that's where I kind of wanted to start playing. And then Waylon Jennings, listen to him, they would play the old outlaw country, and then I finally got a guitar, picked peas for Pat Cone and Shooter, and bought my first guitar when I was 13 at a pawn shop, a little $30 guitar.
Very cool. So I got kind of the same story with me. I wanted to learn to play. Yeah. I was 12, and a buddy of mine had a guitar for sale, and I didn't know squat about a guitar, except it had a red, white, and blue strap. It was old Harmony Stella. You ever play one of those?
No.
The string set about this high off the neck.
Like a dobro.
It was a hard guitar to learn, but I did. And then my mother made a deal with me because she saw I was going to stick with this, and I needed a better guitar. My mom told me if I would save my money, pick out a guitar I wanted, and pay for half of it, she'd cover the other half. So she did not realize at the time what she was getting herself into.
No,
Yeah, but first guitars are always a memorable one, and playing around places like you described, that's a great place to get started for anybody. Especially if you're young, because I'm telling you, the older folks sit around and listen to you.
That's right. And as far as learning how to play, when they had haymakers up here, I went up here and took like one lesson, and I was like, well.
Did Eddie give it to you?
He did, and then he gave me a music book, and I turned to the very back of it and learned the chords on, and then I could hear them. So when I listened to a song, I ended up playing by ear.
Very cool. Was it by chance a Mel Bay's guitar book?
I don't even remember which book it is. I think I still have it.
So out of all of the places you've played in your career, is there one place or one venue that sticks out in your mind as your favorite?
I kind of like them all. But, playing around Ruston, you have a pretty good crowd. I played here with Monty a long time ago, but I only come up and did like one song during the whole deal. But I like this venue, but I haven't got to have my own show here, so this is kind of where I want to play at someday.
Sure.
And then
you were here when Trey played too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was just helping him backstage.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I could pick a favorite. I like them all just the same.
Good answer.
I've noticed it everywhere you go, like at Mississippi, be it Bossier or wherever I'm playing at, it's almost your same people. Like it's just good people all the time. Everywhere you go.
Are there any musicians, living or dead, that have inspired you enough that if you could do a performance with them? I know it'd be creepy doing a performance with a dead guy, but anybody, living or dead, if you could perform with them, who would it be?
Well, this is where it gets kind of crazy because I like all kinds of music. And, I like country, but I also like Chris Cornell.
Yes.
That'd probably be one of them.
He got some great stuff right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, what qualities in a person do you think make a great musician?
First off, the talent and the drive to do it and to help others, with it. And the ones that, stay to the roots, don't get a big head about it. And, just stay original with it. That's pretty much, as far as a good musician, of course they got to have their talent, but when they get on stage, just go out there and treat it as a hobby and a job. And, once you love it so much, it just comes natural.
Okay, Bo, we talked a little bit about your songwriting style. Setting up in a crane is one way, but I know you're fixing to do an original song for us here in a little bit. So I would imagine you've not written every song you've done in a crane in the oil field, am I right?
Yes.
So tell us, what's involved in writing a song for Bo?
There's a lot that goes into it. A lot of times you have to write it down as soon as you think about it, because I'll be out in town eating somewhere or hanging out at a bar or whatever and watching people, and somebody might say something, and I'm like, let me write that down. And then there's some of them where you just get up out of bed and you just write the whole thing, 10, 15 minutes, finish. But I don't know. I guess it's just, I don't know where it comes from. Sometimes it just, you get to write, strum a note on the guitar, and then here it comes.
Inspiration's everywhere.
It's a flood of feelings, especially like if I'm going to write a sad song. Sometimes I don't even sit down and say, I'm going to write this song. I'm going to write a sad song, a fast song, or whatever. It's just whatever comes out. But there's times when I'll sit down to write, then I'll choose a subject or whatever, and then I'll go from there.
I think one of my favorite stories about songwriting was from Willie Nelson. He was on a plane traveling cross country, and they was getting ready to do the movie Honeysuckle Rose, I believe. And his producer said, you need a song. You need a new song for this. And Willie turned his head and went to sleep and slept until 30 minutes before landing. And the producer's like, Willie, we have got to have a song. Today, we got to have a song. And Willie took a bag out of the back of the seat in front of him and started writing. And in 5 minutes, handed it to the producer. And all it said was, on the road again, on the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. Multi-million selling album. So, like I said, inspiration can come anywhere, even on an airplane writing on a barf bag. So tell us about the song you're going to sing for us today.
I was sitting here debating which one I'm going to play because I have a couple. Well, one that's never probably been heard before. Then I have another one I wrote. This is one that just inspired me by the outlaw music. And I woke up one day and wrote it out on a piece of paper. It's called "She's My Jessie." So I think I might do that one.
Well, I'm very, very intrigued by that title. I'm pretty sure I know where it comes from.
Yeah, Waylon
Jesse Coulter and Waylon Jennings. Yeah. Even if you don't sing it for the podcast, I'd like to hear it.
Oh yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, we're going to take a little break right here. Thanks again to Origin Bank. We're going to get set up here in the studio and tell us the song title again.
She's My Jessie.
She's My Jessie. Bo's fixing to deliver it to us. All right.
Her eyes shine brighter than autumn lights. Her love is stronger than whiskey they pour here each night. She holds the key to my gypsy soul. She has more grit than this long winding road. She's a modern day hippie, last of a dying breed. She's everything this outlaw living day. She unlocked the door to my soul, Lord. She set me free. Well, I may not be waiting, but she's my Jessie. There's miles between us, bloodshot eyes that still burn. Whiskey and the road's been tough, I'm headed back home. I laid down beside her, wrapped her in my loving arms. She's a blessing in disguise, a long lost honky-tonk song. She's a modern day hippie, last of a dying breed. She's everything this outlaw living day. door to my soul, Lord. She set me free. Well, I may not be waiting, but she's my Jessie. Well, I may not be waiting, she's my Jessie.
I'm not wailing either, but that was Bo Smith with She's My Jessie. What an incredible tune. I got to tell you, I like that very much.
I appreciate it.
Bo, I know you got some stuff coming up real soon. Tell us where you're going to be over the next few days.
Okay, Friday night I'll be at the Uptown Downtown, 6 to 9 p.m. during the beer crawl. And then we got White Lightning. We'll be at White Lightning Saturday night, 9 p.m. until closing. So if you want to catch a late show, come out to White Lightning. And then every Thursday I've been at Gonzalez Mexican Restaurant in Farmville. So the next Thursday you can catch me out there. And then I have to look at my calendar. I'll keep it posted on Facebook.
I do want to tell you about some stuff coming up here at the Dixie. So Friday night, this Friday, tonight as a matter of fact, is the Ruston Beer Crawl. And the Dixie Center is one of the stopping points. And we are so honored to have the Grambling State University Jazz Ensemble will be in our lobby playing some jazz tunes for us. So while you're crawling around Ruston and sampling the different beers at the different locations, make sure you get by the Dixie and check out our venue and check out the Grambling State University Jazz Ensemble. And then on April 6th, we've got the Joe Woods Show, and I've got some information about that coming at you right now. It's time once again to make your plans for the Ruston favorite. It's the Joe Woods Wildwood Express Show. On Saturday, April 6th at 6 p.m. Get your tickets at www.dixiecenter.org. This show is a tribute to Mr. Joe Woods and a benefit for the Dixie. The Joe Woods Wildwood Express Show is sponsored by Origin Bank. For information about all of our shows and everything related to the Dixie, check out our website at www.dixiecenter.org and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you for tuning in to the Production Room Podcast, coming to you from the Dixie Center for the Arts in beautiful downtown Ruston, Louisiana. For questions, comments, or just to say hey, you may email us at productionroompodcast@gmail.com. The views expressed by our guest and host may not necessarily be those of the Dixie Center for the Arts. The Dixie Center for the Arts is a 501c3 nonprofit corporation whose goal is to be the heart and home for the arts in North Louisiana. Be sure to share this episode with your friends and tune in again next time.